Also in Canada, upon arrival there on Monday, President Lee Jae-myung sat down separately with his counterparts from South Africa and Australia ahead of the extended G7 session on Tuesday local time. Our top office correspondent Yoon Jung-min is part of the traveling press corps and files this report from Calgary.
On his way to Canada to attend the G7 summit, South Korea's new president Lee Jae-myung was asked about the timing of the G7 summit during an impromptu press conference on board Korea's Air Force One.
지금 취임한 지 며칠 되지 않아서 국제회의에 참석하는 건 무리가 있는 게 분명합니다. 이 국제사회에 대한민국이 신속하게 정상화됐다는 것을 좀 보여주는 게 필요하다라는 의견도 있었고.
By that, he meant filling the leadership vacuum following the martial law incident. The president started off his resumption of summit diplomacy by holding bilateral meetings with invited non-G7 countries, South Africa and Australia, on his first day in Canada. President Lee met South African President Cyril Ramaphosa and Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese separately, and in those meetings, he addressed cooperation on the economy and energy, building upon friendships dating back to the Korean War over 7 decades ago. Also addressed was regional security surrounding the Korean peninsula. He also invited Albanese to the APEC summit in Korea, while Ramaphosa invited Lee to the G20 summit in South Africa later this year. In the evening, President Lee and First Lady Kim Hae-kyung were hosted by Canada for dinner. Also in the South Korean president's mind for this trip was trade with the U.S., but his expected meeting with President Trump fell through as the American leader cut short his trip to the G7, citing the crisis in the Middle East.
The U.S. side contacted us, asking for our understanding for what has happened.
President Lee's summit with Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba is slated for Tuesday, local time.
Earlier on board the Air Force One, President Lee did note that he seeks to yield results that are mutually beneficial when it comes to trade talks with the U.S. The Trump administration's deadline for tariff negotiations is set for early July. Yoon Jung-min, Arirang News, Calgary.